I answer you, how do you get better when you traded away more first-round picks than Paul George had buckets in Game 7? How do you get better when you're going to lose Montrezl Harrell in free agency? Because he's going to go get his bag. Regardless of his god-awful playoffs, Montrez is going to go get his bag from a team like Charlotte or Orlando that's going to throw money at him just to have a name. And then he's going to go out. What?
Mark Cuban spares no
But
expenses.
they don't have the money. They don't have the money because they re-upped
trust
KP.
me. Trust me. Mark Cuban has the money. Trust me.
Maybe. Well, I mean the cap, not the money. He has the money nominally, but they don't have the cap space.
Trust me. Mark Cuban will make it happen.
So the way I see it is that there's no realistic path to improvement because you've already leveraged all of your assets to acquire Paul. George. This is a team. This is it. What you have right now is it. And what happened was you look at this team and every pundit that picked the Clippers to win it all said, nah. They good. They're going to turn it on when it comes time. And Kawhi is going to come out like he's fucking Tim Duncan and let all their shackles go. And he's going to come out and be superstar Mr. Unstoppable in the playoffs like he was with Toronto. Never the mind that Toronto.
Yeah, he wasn't even Duncan Robertson in this game. This was bad.
Let's not forget, because the revisionism is strong in NBA Twitter. The revisionism is strong. Let's not remember that it wasn't Kawhi that carried that Toronto team to the playoffs, to a good seed. It wasn't Kawhi that got them to that last second shot against Philadelphia. And yeah, he is one lucky-ass shot away from being just another dude, another top 6 player, from being no different than James Harden. Because I'm tired of sitting here and acting like Kawhi is the shit because he was the third fiddle on a fucking Spurs team behind Tony Parker, behind Tim Duncan, behind Manu Ginobili. He was the 4th guy on a Spurs team. And yeah, he hit some clutch shots, but he wasn't a superstar for that Spurs team. You could have given that Finals MVP to fucking Thiago Splitter, and it would have made just as much sense. So all I'm saying is that if you're gonna go back all the way to that title and say, well, Kawhi's a champion. Well, no, Kawhi didn't do shit. Dude was 21 years old for that team. Second of all, if you're gonna look at this Toronto team and tell me that he was the most important thing to ever happen, well, Andrew, you said it yourself, that they made it just as far without him that he did this year with supposedly a team that's supposed to win a title. And last year, he spent the entire year load managing. The entire year. This motherfucker wouldn't play back-to-backs. This motherfucker wouldn't play 35 minutes. This motherfucker wouldn't do what it takes to win. And then finally, at the end, he takes advantage of Golden State that shot itself in the foot, in the fucking knee, and in the goddamn dick. Losing KD, losing Steph, and losing fucking Clay. And they got, Kawhi is a champion now. He's incredible. He's amazing. He's better than LeBron. Bro, you beat Golden State with both of their damn arms tied behind their back. I don't want to hear that shit.
And blindfolded.
Don't get it twisted, though.
It's no hate. He's a champion. But he's not the fucking best thing since sliced bread.
Listen,
he's not Michael Jordan.
That final series last year was God's FU to Draymond for all the shit that he talked. For all the shit he talked about.
That's fine. I'm not upset at that. I'm not upset at that at all. I'm just saying people are gassing Kawhi up to be something that he's not. And he proved that he's not this mythical creature that they're fucking gassing him up to be. Like, he's not LeBron. He's not. He is an elite player. He is a top 6, top 5, top 4, top 3, top 2, whatever argument that you want to make. He could be, even if you want to call him number 1, the argument's there. But when push comes to shove, but he had a chance to prove definitively, I am the guy. You don't have to win a championship to prove definitively I am the guy because it takes more than one fucking person to win a championship. That's why LeBron's 3-6, right? So he had a chance to prove definitively I am the guy. He couldn't beat, this is no hate on the Nuggets. They're a great fucking team. But they blew a 3-1 lead. It's not like it's game 7 and it's back and forth. You had 3 different chances to put this series to bed, and you fucking blew that shit. And you got embarrassed. You got embarrassed. Jamal Murray's putting up 40 points, and your ass put up 14.
Listen.
So I don't want to hear it with Kawhi. Kawhi better take his ass to the damn Freon chamber. I don't know what the hell they stick Luke Skywalker in Star Wars to make him feel better. He better go fucking invent and buy that shit and sit in that shit all summer long until he's got frostbite like Antonio Brown to get ready for next season. Because I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear it anymore.
Johnny, why don't you tell us how you really feel?
Just listen, okay? I understand what you're saying about Kawhi, and I am not devoid in the blame, but listen, Denver was a very good team. Denver was probably better than them. Denver was better than them. And listen, as much as Jokic gets all the credit because Jokic is the name on that team, dude, you ever hear of a coming out party? This has been Jamal Murray's coming out party. When Denver drafted Jamal Murray back in 2016 or 2017 or 2016, this was the player they envisioned when they took him 7th overall. This was the dude they envisioned.
Notice I didn't say Jokic.
This was the dude who averaged 20 points per game. Mind you, he averaged 20 points per game in his lone season at Kentucky. On a roster that's always filled with NBA caliber talent where they have to sacrifice for each other, this guy averaged 20 points per game. He's always been a baller. He's been slept on and he's flown under the radar because he's been in Denver, and Denver's always been the,
he's been
small
mediocre.
market.
He's been mediocre. He hasn't been elite. He's been mediocre. He's been good, but he hasn't been
He's
great.
shown flashes. He's shown flashes of this.
Yeah.
This is the guy Denver envisioned when they drafted him. They're getting it. It's paying dividends. Paying dividends. I am not going to sit up here and I'm not going to make any excuses. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, Denver was a better team. I know on paper, it looks like the Clippers were the better team, the deeper roster. They have the numbers say this, but at the end of the day, when you got to play these games, look at the Heat. Look at the Heat. On paper, it's Jimmy Butler. It's
my Miami Heat, by the way.
It's Jimmy Butler, a bunch of role players, and a slept-on rookie in Tyler Hero. That team's in the Eastern Conference Finals, and that team has a legitimate chance to go to the finals.
Oh, they will go to the finals. They will.
But that's what I'm saying. So just sit up here and, I know analytics and the numbers say one thing, but when you actually got to play these games and everything like that, you're seeing now. Now, do I think a lot of it could be a result of the bubble? You know what? Maybe, but at the end of the day, you got a ball. They're all playing under the same conditions. You got a ball. Listen, Toronto, it's different. When you play a game in Toronto, and last year's playoff run even showed, when you have to play in Toronto, when you got those fans, when you got Drake heckling you, when you got all those how many thousand people standing outside the arena at Jurassic Park all rooting against you as an opposing player and everything like that, that could take a toll on you. Look at what happened with the Sixers. The Sixers couldn't handle it. Milwaukee, Giannis folded under the
Sixers
pressure.
Can't handle shit.
Giannis folded under the pressure last year in Toronto. Giannis folded under the pressure this year. So I think some teams were just victims of the bubble, but at the end of the day, you know what? This is where it shows. Everyone's playing under the same conditions. There's no crowd noise. It's just you roll the ball out and go ball. I mean, this is where players are making names for themselves. Listen, at the end of these playoffs, if nobody knew who Jamal Murray was or people were sleeping on Jamal Murray, people better know who the fuck Jamal Murray is.